Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be covering two Nintendo stories. We originally had three, a third section which answered a lot of questions we had been asked about Zelda Ocarina of Time HD, Majora's Mask HD, and Ura Zelda. Specifically, when they would be coming out, who could be working on them, extra features that it could have, and whether or not Ocarina of Time HD could have Ura Zelda included. But the script ended up being way too long due to the amount of info, interviews, and announcements we had, and research uncovered a bit more info as well. So we are going to continue doing research and save it for its own special video to be released tomorrow. So continuing with the news stories, let us know how many you would like us to feature in future videos. Yesterday and the day before we had 5 each, and some of you said that it was too many, so we're cutting back a few. Which is why we had 3, but sadly now 2. But not technically, sadly, because tomorrow's video is going to be awesome. In today's video, we're going to be covering Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox working together, and what it actually means. And we have an update with Luigi's Mansion 3 for Nintendo Switch. Again, we had a third segment that stemmed from questions we've been asked and news that had come out from Nintendo's development teams. Due to this, today's news video is a bit short, so I apologize, but some of you did mention 5 news stories were too many. So please enjoy and look forward to tomorrow. First up, we have this Xbox and Sony partnership. Something some people have been forgetting is that Nintendo and Microsoft have been partnering for a long time now. I mean, we even have a Nintendo console that is themed after a Microsoft Xbox owned game. And they have been having dozens of flirty tweets back and forth between them, as well as the Nintendo Switch connecting directly to Xbox Live accounts. This partnership between Sony and Microsoft will likely just be more of the same that we have seen from Nintendo and Microsoft. However, I seriously doubt Sony will be releasing a Halo-themed PlayStation 4 Pro anytime soon, or having the next Halo game or The Last of Us Part 2 releasing as a multi-platform title. I don't think this is anywhere as serious as Nintendo and Microsoft's partnership is, or the partnership that Nintendo and PlayStation had about 25 years ago, which ended in disaster. We could have had a cool partnership between Nintendo and PlayStation creating a Zelda game or a Mario game. If the partnership would have been successful, we could be seeing a realistic Zelda game being made by Naughty Dog, who works on The Last of Us and Uncharted, as well as Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot. You could see the Little Big Planet team working alongside with Mario, which honestly seems like it's already happening because we keep getting Yarn games from Nintendo, which is odd, because Little Big Planet was inspired by Mario, but Little Big Planet introduced the entire Yarn and crafted aesthetic, as well as creating your own levels and sharing those levels online. Years later, we end up getting Nintendo making games in that exact same aesthetic, as well as releasing a Mario game, which lets you create your own levels and share them online with your friends. And finally, Mario Maker 2 is allowing you to play that game with your friends online, which was something that Little Big Planet already had in the very first game. So it makes me wonder why Nintendo bothered copying some things but didn't bother copying everything. Anyways, getting on with our news story. From what their official statement tells us, they do a lot of talk about partnering and collaborating on using the cloud. The most important quotes from their lengthy statements: I believe that our joint development of future cloud solutions will contribute greatly to the advancement of interactive content. Additionally, I hope that in the areas of semiconductors and AI, leveraging each company's cutting-edge technology in a mutually complementary way will lead to the creation of new value for society. Our partnership brings the power of Azure and Azure AI, I really hope I pronounced that right, to Sony to deliver new gaming and entertainment experiences for customers. Basically, all that's saying is, I guess Sony's purchase of Gaikai isn't working out like they expected for their cloud streaming services, so they're wanting to partner with Microsoft to move their PlayStation Now or their streaming services to Microsoft's cloud, or at least use their technology to further advance their own. I don't think this is something to where they're going to be releasing PlayStation All-Stars 2 with Microsoft characters, however Microsoft being in Nintendo Nintendo Smash Bros. Is a definite possibility. In fact, the president of Xbox Live, who we were there in person when he said this at E3 last year, he would love to see Master Chief from Halo in Super Smash Bros. But he said that was up to Nintendo. So from what he says, he's completely fine with it, or at least that's what he said publicly. And it's just up to Nintendo on whether or not they want to put the Microsoft characters in Smash Bros. Which, seeing their flirty relationship back and forth, I see no idea why Banjo and Kazooie hasn't been announced yet. Although it could be sometime, or at least I'm hoping. Especially since the developers for Banjo-Kazooie and developers at Rare have all shown interest in Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash Bros. So literally no one is against this. Everyone wants it. It just has to be Nintendo giving the okay. Well, at least that got off topic, so I guess there was 2 or 3 other news stories in there if you want. Our second official piece of news, and our final piece of news, comes from Go Nintendo. Luigi's Mansion 3 rated in Korea. Go Nintendo says Nintendo hasn't shown anything about Luigi's Mansion 3 since its original reveal. We haven't gotten a single tidbit of info unless you count the mention of the game in Nintendo's quarter report. While we wait for Nintendo start the drip, there's a typo there. While we wait for Nintendo to start the drip feed, Go Nintendo, have a word with your editor there. It seems like some movement might be made soon. Luigi's Mansion 3 has just received a rating in Korea. One would think that if the game is getting rated already, that things are progressing somewhat steadily. With E3 2019 right around the corner, it would only be surprising to see the game not covered in some way, shape, or form. Hopefully, we'll get a big blowout in just a few weeks. And that's exactly what I'm guessing too. I'm sure Luigi's Mansion 3 will be one of the many new games playable for the first time, including a few unannounced games that get revealed at E3 to be playable on the show floor for fans to check out. In the meantime, if you want a new Luigi's Mansion experience, you can play the arcade game, where you actually hold a weird vacuum cleaner thingy, and it's actually really fun and multiplayer, so go check it out at your local Dave and Buster's or whatever arcade you have, and then come back here and tell me how cool it is, because I want to play it.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video, and you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like, and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much more.